Good morning, Peacemakers. It's the 20th day of March. It's hard to believe we are already almost 1/4 of the way through this year, 2025. And I just blinked and those 3 months were gone. I was reading this morning. I finished the book of Psalms in my Bible reading this morning in my quiet time. And I had noticed something over the last few days in reading through Psalms that David repeats, and there's a lot of repetition in Psalms, but that David repeats a theme or a warning, if you will, about being careful not to be caught in the snare of men, the snare of evil men, ultimately the snare of the devil. He uses different ways to express that, including there's an Old Testament word, gin, G-I-N, that means a snare that they would build that they would make out of either actually a coarse hair from an animal, or they would make for a larger bird. They'd make it out of a kind of string or wire that they'd be able to braid together. Anyway, it's interesting too that the word gin in present use refers to a drink that definitely can be a snare. But I wanted to say that he talks about the different ways in which that the evil of the world, that evil men, that the devil can set a snare for us, that we can find a snare in so many things that maybe that otherwise are good things, but that it just seems like Satan always is able to create and take a good thing and make a snare out of it if we're not careful. Some examples of those things are the way we entertain ourselves. There's a lot of good entertainment available out there, but there's also a lot of snares involved in how we might entertain ourselves in music or in what we view or in video form or what we read even. There are all kinds of snares if you're not careful. There's some good stuff, just like the bird that might be finding something good to eat or some way to sustain himself. And yet that very same thing a snare could be right there waiting for him. I was thinking too, I'd heard when someone asked Elon Musk the other day concerning AI, and he seems to be at the forefront of AI, one of the ones at the forefront of AI these days. He said, how dangerous is it that to what extent is there a danger that AI could become abusive of man or dangerous to man? And he said, he literally said about 20%, about 1/5 of a chance, okay, that it might. Now that's only 1/5, but that's amazing that he would make it that high or say it that high, that there's such a possibility. AI seems like can be a wonderful thing, a real tool in so many ways, but even that has a snare. It seems like as long as we're in this world, no matter what we have, no matter what we face, no matter what God brings to us that's good, that ultimately could be a blessing to us, Satan has found a way to make a possibility of a snare. We have to be on guard for that. Now, how did David deal with that? He didn't just talk about the snares that the evil men put in his way, or that the Satan puts in his way, but how did he deal with it? And the only thing I could find was that he prayed. The way he dealt with the possibility of snares as he made his way through life, as he lived his daily life and sought to serve the Lord as well as to rule his kingdom, to lead his people, was the way he dealt with it was that he prayed about it. He knew he had to take something this devious and this potentially powerful in a negative way. He had to take that to the Lord to help him look for, to help him recognize those snares whenever they come. The Holy Spirit's there in your life for a reason. We need to be about the business of listening to him. And the way we do that is to talk to him, continually ask for that help that the Lord wants to give us, to be careful about those things that could ensnare us. As long as we live in this flesh, we're susceptible to that. And so I'm asking you to pray every day. Pray, Lord, help me to see the snares when they come, to see the dangers when they come, and to be able to avoid them, to do what I can to avoid them. The Holy Spirit will tap you on the shoulder of your mind and say, hey, this is dangerous. This is not good for you. And if you'll listen to him, he'll never lead you astray. He'll never lead you wrong. And so I encourage you to do that, if you will. And it'll be a blessing to you. It'll be a help to you. And maybe you won't find yourself in those snares. I want to say thank you all for praying for our family, for Matt and Kayla and Jonathan having lost Matt losing his wife, his helpmate, and the kids losing their mom this past week. Thank you for your prayers for that. I also want to mention to you today that as we speak, probably they're prepping the little girl that we've been praying for a long time now, Peyton Smith, as she'll be receiving another treatment today in Memphis, and the intent of the treatments are to continue to shrink the tumor that's in her brain. It is shrinking, and there's evidence of that every time they do an MRI. And so we're praising the Lord for that, but she's not out of the woods yet. Continue to pray for Peyton and ask God to let this continue in the path it seems to, or in the trend that it seems to be in, and that she can overcome, and that tumor can just be shrunk out of existence or out of any danger to her. There are others we could pray for, but I ask prayer for them. One more. Some of you may be aware, you may have never met him, but maybe you did. Brother Paul Uriman has passed away just a couple of days ago. He, whenever I was in Texas pastoring in a cut and shoot, he was in Conroe right next there to us, and he was pastor at Northside Baptist Church at Conroe. After leaving Northside, Brother Paul and his wife Carrie and their sons went to Africa, Ghana, West Africa, as our missionaries for many years. Brother Paul succumbed to cancer after dealing with it for a good long time. He was pastor at New Bethlehem Baptist Church, where I pastored for many years. And anyway, I want to ask you to pray for Miss Carrie and their sons, and ask God to be with the family at this time. His funeral is Saturday, so please, another warrior, a godly, humble man has left us and gone to be with the Lord. And so I wanted to ask you to pray for his family and his church. Thank God and take care. Bye-bye.